We have some late night breaking news coming from the NBA as James Harden and PJ Tucker have officially been traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers for Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, and future draft picks. Now there's a lot to unpack here, but first let's start with the obvious question. How much better does this trade make the Clippers? When you look at all of their talent on paper, it looks incredible. Just last season, James Harden led the league in assists and still averaged over 20 a game. Kawhi and PG were still dominant when healthy, and Russell Westbrook seems to have gone through a little bit of a career resurgence. But what I love about this trade the most is that the Clippers are finally trading away some of their depth. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorite aspects about this Clippers team is how deep they are. You can almost attribute most of their playoff success to role players stepping up in big-time moments. But this team got to a point where solid rotational pieces like Morris and Batum were getting 10 to 15 minutes a night solely because there were just 9 guys better than them. So I love this move for Steve Ballmer, getting rid of some pieces to bolster up that star power. But the caveat to all this is health. We all know the Clippers' recent history when it comes to health, especially in the playoffs. And let's not act like James Harden has been an Iron Man over the past 3 seasons, and more importantly, let's not act like James Harden has been a playoff hero. In order for this team to succeed when it counts most, I need Kawhi, PG, and at least one of Harden and Westbrook to be healthy. And I can't really trust that to happen. Sure, you can beat up on the Jazz and the Trailblazers of the world and rest your stars. But in the second round when you're facing the Denver Nuggets, you can't afford to have one of your top guys injured. This trade doesn't make me feel any better about the Clippers, but I can't say I'm not intrigued with how this starting lineup looks. As for the 76ers, we all kinda knew this day would come. Ever since Harden publicly stated that Daryl Morey was a liar, it was known that he would be traded. But it's not the trade that shocked me, it's the timing of it. News broke yesterday that Harden was expected to be present during the team's practice today, and the Clippers are playing a game in less than 24 hours against the Orlando Magic. What caused the 76ers and Daryl Morey to finally agree on a trade? And what more did the Clippers give up that pushed the needle? While we don't know all of that information yet, what we do know is that the 76ers have still looked solid without James Harden, and the Sixers have already found their replacement at the guard position with Tyrese Maxey stepping up big time in their first 3 games. What this tells me is that Morey saw his team perform in the first 3 games and was satisfied with how they looked, so we decided to pull the trigger on the Harden deal and add some more depth and future draft capital. From the perspective of Morey and the Sixers, I love this deal. We all knew that Harden would eventually be gone, so to get that question mark off the team and add some more solid rotational pieces in Batum, Covington, and potentially Morris to a team that looks solidified with Embiid and Maxey as the top 2 options is a great outcome. This trade was made for one reason and one reason only, the playoffs. The Clippers made this deal thinking that James Harden was the final piece they needed to win a ring. And the 76ers made this deal thinking getting Harden off the roster and adding more depth was the final piece they needed to win a ring. And while I don't think this trade really impacts either team's chances at beating their respective best teams in the conference, it's an interesting deal that shakes up the league and potentially causes one of the 2 teams to make a conference finals appearance. But what do you think? Comment below your thoughts on this trade, and remember to hit the subscribe button for more NBA videos just like this one. I'm Julian with TalkBackSports, and I'll see you next time.